What's up, everybody? It's John Sports House coming at you with a brand new video. How's everyone doing today? Today's Throwback Thursday, and it's time to take a look back, jump in the time machine, the Wayback Machine, and take a look at an older product. Now, this is what we're going to take a look at in a second. We've actually shown before on this channel. It was in one of our Finding Treasures in the Attic series. There are 4, I guess you could call them episodes of that, where we were rummaging through my parents' attic in search of old cards, old sports memorabilia, things like that. I'll put the links down below in the description, and you guys can go check those episodes out. We did 4 of them. There might be a 5th one because we're almost done with that, but there might be a few other little odds and ends that we might be able to get on camera. But this the set that I'm going to show you today, I actually showed at the end of one of the episodes, but I wanted to kind of take a closer look at it and, highlight these cards a little bit better. We kind of went through them kind of fast because there's a long video, and then we put this at the end. It's the 1983 Kellogg's 3D Superstars baseball cards, and this is a really, really cool set. My father purchased 2 of these sets back in the day. You could mail order these, and you can also get them inside cereal boxes and whatnot. But this is like the second one that is still in the package. I'm going to open this up and show everybody real quick. You can see them here. This has never been touched before. The original video that we did, it was actually the first time that I had opened these up since we ordered them. We never really even went through them. We kind of got them in the mail, put them away, and that was it. So, and then we discovered them, and then I, showed everybody in the YouTube world the cards for the first time. So since then, I've been kind of just organizing things and whatnot, and I came across these again, and I wanted to put these in top loaders. So we're gonna penny sleeves and then top loaders to preserve them because they're completely flat. We'll do that with the second set as well. These cards are completely flat, and which is really, really tough to find because most of the time what happens is like the elements, the air or whatnot, heat hit these cards, and over time they start to curl, and then they're kind of, done with. We have some that are older than this, and they are curled up because they were stored in 1,000 count boxes, and they kind of curled up. So we'll probably feature those at some point too, just to show everybody that stuff. We're gonna take a look at these now. A little bit about this 1983 Kellogg's 3D Baseball Superstars card set. This is the last year they made these from the 80s. They're considered vintage. The next time Kellogg's came out with cards was in 1991. But this is the last year of these Superstar ones. So here's the first one. Here's Rod Carew. These are beautiful. The difference of this is a 60 card set. The difference between these and the other 3D baseball cards they came out with was they would have little stars around the borders. And let's tilt this up here so we can get this and I can see. Okay, here we go. So they have stars around the borders here, and this is the first year they didn't do that. Really, really awesome cards. You can kind of see the 3D action happening in the background there. This is Rod Carew. This is card number 1. Really awesome. It's Kellogg's logo, last name, position, and then here is all of his stats going back to his first year in Minnesota. And they actually have the full names of the players in there. Rodney Cline Carew. And this is made by a company called Visual Panagraphics. Is that what it says down there? Inc. And so this is not like a Topps product or anything. They kind of deal with Major League Baseball. You can see the logos up here in the right-hand corner. So there you go with that. Trying to keep my reflection out of the card. So there's Rod Carew, card number 1. I don't think these are going to work. These might slide right off, so we'll keep them there. We'll swap them out. Here's Raleigh Fingers. Roland Glenn Fingers. That's his name. His actual name. Here's Reggie Jackson. This is a great card. Awesome. I did notice too that, and you'll see these, that some of these cards are pure white. I mean, they're all mint, but they're pure white, and I don't know if they were attached and then they separated them in the factory, or if they were just cut weird. They're cut like the machine did something, because you can see right there, there's a little divot And the other cards that we'll point out are the stock has kind of like yellowed over time, and those look to be like they were cut by like an actual machine. But this is all one set, so I don't know if they just did this in two parts or used different machines. I don't know how this all happened like that. Here's Reggie Jackson, Reginald Martinez Jackson. Here's George Brett. Beautiful card there with the embedded autograph there. George Howard Brett, card number 4. Hal McRae. Harold Abraham McRae. Let's take out Mr. Carew, put him over here, and we'll get this, swap these cards out as we go along. Okay. Here's Pete Rose, and this is the Philadelphia Phillies. Peter Edward Rose. Next up, we have Fernando Valenzuela. I was actually looking to see if there were any kind of Kellogg's 3D baseball card commercials. I was kind of going to incorporate it into this episode, but there aren't any that I could find. I mean, I searched and searched and searched, but what I did find was there is an actual Kellogg's Corn Flakes commercial, Spanish commercial with Fernando Valenzuela, and it's really, really funny. Yeah, so go check that out if you get a chance to. Fernando Valenzuela. Oh, we didn't look at his back of his name. Just Fernando Valenzuela. Okay. Here's Ricky Henderson. Great card. Ricky Henley Henderson. Next up, Carl Yastrzemski. That's a great card too. Awesome. Carl Michael Yastrzemski. Next up, Goose Gossage. It's card number 10. Richard Michael Gossage. I didn't realize the 4th card is not in the shot. So let's move these over here. Gotta get everything in the shot here for all you guys to check out. Still not in the shot. How's that? There we go. Now we're in business. Okay. Next up, we have Eddie Murray. Awesome card. Eddie Clancy Murray. Next up, Buddy Bell. This is in the Texas Rangers. David Gus Bell. Here's Jim Rice. James Edward Rice. Robin Yount. Robin R. Yount. Here's Dave Winfield. David Mark Winfield. These top holders are okay. They were given to us by Seeking Hidden Gems. The problem is they're just a little bit too wide, and the cards tend to slide up, so you got to kind of get them in there, and there you go. Okay, so here's an example of what I was talking about. You can see the paper is kind of like, this card is actually kind of faded, and they were never exposed to light or anything like that, so I don't know how this even happened. Perhaps it was no, I don't know how it actually have happened, to be honest with you, because they were stored and whatnot, but you can see the difference, and this is like a straight cut here on this card. There's the back, so maybe it's over time, maybe just air somehow getting in here has changed the coloring on the paper here. So there's Harold Douglas Baines. There's Gary Templeton. Gary Lewis Templeton. Bill Madlock. Mad Dog. Bill Madlock Jr. Pete Vukovich, sporting the 80s stash. Peter Dennis Vukovich. Here's Pedro Guerrero. Nice card there. It's Pedro Guerrero. No middle name. All right, let's keep on going here. We're at card number 21. Here's Ozzie Smith, the Wiz. Osborne Earl Smith. See, I never knew. I never really I looked at this. I always look at cards, but I don't really, the actual names. So I had no idea that Ozzie Smith was Osborne. Interesting. George Arthur Foster. Nice card there. Here's the next one, Willie Wilson. Willie James Wilson. Here's Johnny Ray. You can see the Startle stars on his hat there. Johnny Cornelius Ray. Here's George Hendrick. This is a really cool card. If you can see the clouds in the background, if you move it, it's just you can see like the actual 3D situation happening here. George Andrew Hendrick Jr. Here is Andre Thornton. Cleveland Indians, Andre Thornton. Here's Leon Durham. A great shot. Leon Durham. Cecil Cooper. A great player. First baseman for the Milwaukee Brewers. He had some massive power. It was 30 home runs, 32 home runs. 33 home runs. It's super tiny, but he was a good player for the Milwaukee Brewers. Cecil Cooper. Cecil Celester Cooper. That's an interesting middle name. Okay, next up is Don Baylor. Donald Edward Baylor. Here's Lonnie Smith. Got a big one coming up right here. Here's Nolan Ryan. It's a little off center. It's just kind of odd, but I guess that these kind of cards even have issues too. Centering issues, but that's a great card. And this second, actually, you can purchase this. Sometimes I saw one set on eBay, like in the package like this from the company that sent it, and it was $40, $50, maybe even higher. Maybe there was a bid going on here. These cards, all you can buy them for $1. Some of them are a little higher depending on the player. Yeah, so it's a very affordable vintage baseball card set that you can buy. So this is Dan Quisenberry, and if you notice here, there's a massive mistake on his name. It's the only error card in this set. They never corrected it. They decided not to correct it. They just let it go, and there's the old Quisenberry spelled wrong. Even on the back, is it spelled right there? Quisenberry. Yes, it's spelled correctly on the back, which isn't that odd, but they messed up the front. Daniel Raymond Quisenberry. Very interesting. So misspelled on the front, correct on the back. And the other thing about this set is we're missing 3 key players that were all Hall of Famers that broke out this year, which are Tony Gwynn, Ryan Sandberg, and Cal Ripken Jr. I don't think they thought that those guys would become what they ended up becoming. Yes, they're not included in this. So you will not find a 3 baseball card for any of those players for this year. Okay, so Len Barker, Cleveland Indians. Leonard Harold Barker II. Here's Neil Allen. Neil Patrick Allen. Next up, we've got Hall of Famer Jack Morris. Detroit Tigers. John Scott Morris. Dave Steeb. David Andrew Steeb. Here's Bruce Sutter. Howard Bruce Sutter. Next up, we've got Jim Sundberg. Texas Rangers with the hair flap going on there. James Howard Sundberg. That was a style back then. I've made comments about it before. I had a haircut just like that, too. And looking back at it now, boy, oh boy, it looks terrible. Looking back at old pictures. Jim Palmer. Everybody had it. It was like they're afraid to expose their full ear. It's weird. James Alvin Palmer. Next up, we got Lance Parrish. Nice card there. That's Michael Parrish. All right, next up we've got Floyd Bannister. Standout pitcher for the Seattle Mariners back in the day. Floyd Franklin Bannister, it's card number 41. So we got 19 cards to go. Next up, Larry Gura, Kansas City Royals. Lawrence Cyril Gura. That's the middle name. Here's Britt Burns. And phenom back then. Robert Britt Burns. Good pitcher for the White Sox. Love that old uniform, too. That's really cool. Toby Harrah, Cleveland Indians. Good third baseman for them. Colbert Dale Harrah. Did I say Dale Barra? No, it's Harrah. Toby Harrah. Dale Barra. Okay, next up we got Steve Carlton. A great card there, too. Stephen Norman Carlton. Here is Greg Minton. Gregory Brian Minton. Just look at the stats real quick while we're the card flipped over. Okay, next up we've got this is Gorman Thomas, power hitter for the Milwaukee Brewers. James Gorman Thomas III. Stay there. Okay. Next up, another massive power hitter back in the day is Jack Clark. And this card really got some yellow fading happening here. Why? I don't know. You can see it right there. Very strange. He was sitting on top of something, but these cards were like untouched. So it must have maybe just the way it was packaged, and then who knows, maybe dust somehow got in there, air, and then it kind of just has an effect on the paper. Gave it that line, so that's kind of messed up. Here's Keith Hernandez. Yeah, you can kind of see it there too. Keith Hernandez. Greg Luzinski. Chicago White Sox, Gregory Michael Luzinski. Next up, we got Fred Lynn. Trying to get a mustache happening there. Fred Lynn. Frederick Michael Lynn. Here's Dale Murphy. Great card. Dale Brian Murphy. Very cool. Okay, we're almost at the end here. There's Kent Herbeck. Very cool card. Kent Allen Herbeck. That's card number 53. Bob Horner. Saw at third base with lots of power for the Braves back in the day. James Robert Horner. Great card here. Montreal Expos. You got Gary Carter. This might be the only Expos player in the set. I don't think Reigns is in this. Gary Carter. Rest in peace, Gary Carter. Great card. Gary Edmund Carter. Here's Carlton Fisk. Great card too. Checking out his glove. Didn't show. I found old catcher's mitt when I played baseball. Carlton Fisk was the autograph that was embedded in the card. I don't know if they still do that or not. They used to have the autographs on the actual glove. I had one for Fred Lynn. I had Carlton Fisk, and I'm trying to think if there was another one. Oh yeah, I had a first baseman's mitt that had Pete Rose's autograph on it. So that's the way they came back then. Dave Concepcion. This card's in great shape. David Ismael Concepcion. Here's Mike Schmidt. Great card there. Michael Jack Schmidt. 2 more to go. Oh, we'll do this one when I'm doing. I'm jumping ahead. Okay, Bill Buckner. Rest in peace, Bill Buckner. He recently passed away, I think about a week or so ago. And he was a very good player. You know, people know him for the one mistake he made, you know, the ball through the legs thing, which is just ridiculous. You know, errors happen all the time. I know it was a big error and whatnot, but still. He was a very, very good player. And, you know, that from what I read, that really stuck with him for like a long time. Then he eventually moved on. He was very upset with fans because they gave it to him badly. And it just was, you know, you look back at it, it's completely unnecessary. So, great player, recently passed away. Rest in peace, Bill Buckner, William Joseph Buckner. He's in the Chicago Cubs. And the last card of the 60-card set is Bobby Grinch. California Angels, sporting the crazy 80s stash. Robert Anthony Grinch. So there you go, folks. That is the 1983 Kellogg's 3 Superstars baseball card set. I wanted to share this with everybody, kind of go through it a little bit slower, and just highlight these cards. This is an awesome thing that we found in my parents' attic. You can check out the episode below and see it. And we found all kinds of crazy sports memorabilia there and lots of cool stuff. I'll put all the links down to all the episodes down below. You can go check them all out. They're pretty cool. So they're different stuff that we find there and whatnot. So there you go, folks. That's it for today. Hey, if you're not subscribing, like what you see, hit the subscribe button right down there, right next to the notification bell. And please give this video a thumbs up. We appreciate that. Put your comments below. Let me know what you think of these 3D baseball cards. We love them. They're really, really cool. And we have other ones, and we're going to pull those out. I don't know if I'll be able to straighten them out. They'll probably be curled. I don't want to ruin them unless I can figure out a way to safely make them flat. But we'll have to pull those out and show everybody because we got a lot of those from back in the day. That's it for today, folks. Share this video with your friends, family, and loved ones. Remember, if you need eBay store, link is down below in the description as well. That is it. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for sticking around this Throwback Thursday video. And I've got more videos coming up this week, so look out for those. That's it for today, folks. It's John Sports Card signing off. We'll see you all soon.